Welcome to Raz Imports 2025 Christmas Themes Part 2. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure there's no order to this. So after you've watched this one, go back and check out Part 1. They have so many beautiful themes they do every year. What I love about Raz Imports is they give us so much inspiration with their images that they share. They show us how to create tablescapes. They show us how to create trees. They show us how to create pots with beautiful decor in them that you would not otherwise think to do yourself. So they are so inspirational, as well as their products are so gorgeous, and they really do lead the way in a lot of what they create. They have a lot of exclusive products that they create for us, and they are just a very mindful, thoughtful company that really every time they bring out the new range, I'm always so excited to see what they've got. So let's get into part 2. All right, first of our themes for part 2 is Make It Merry. So this is a very bright green, red and white theme. So a very bright look here. The bright green has been in for a number of years now. It used to be, everything was traditional green in that deep green and red and gold. Now we see a lot more lightness coming through. Great for kids, lots of fun with these themes. I love them for anyone who's got families, whether it be grandchildren or your own kids, because kids love light and brightness, but you've still got those traditional themes. Also great for anyone who's looking for corporate looks but wants a bit of brightness. So you've still got traditional colours there, but you've got a brighter style to it. This is fun, it's whimsical, it's got mirror balls and glitter, bright green as I said throughout, and it also uses very large ornaments to create that sense of whimsy that you can really, you'll see in the trees how that the big baubles can just really add whimsy to what you're creating. So let's go into what they've got here. So first of all, this theme, as I said, it's red, white and green. So we're seeing the flocked tree. In part 1, we saw a lot of green bases. So the wreath, the garland and the tree itself was green colour, and honestly, for sort of 5 or 7 years, nearly everything was flocked. Now we're seeing a lot more of the green back, but this one being a lighter look, we're back to a white. In fact, that tree looks to me white rather than even flocked, but the wreath on the right is a flocked wreath. So you've got that light base. If you look at this tree on the left, you can see sort of to the bottom right, you can see a big red ball that's pushed into the tree. So they've used some of those very large, they're probably 8-inch or a 20 centimetre size balls, but also you could do 6-inch, 15 centimetre size. I like to do both inches and centimetres for our Australian and our American watches. And they are great to sort of push into the tree. And as I said, they create a real sense of whimsy. In fact, to the left of that, I can now see that there's a green ball that's pushed into the tree as well. So they get those in first and they put them through the tree and they add that touch of colour coming through. They fill it out, they make it give you more depth to the tree. This one otherwise is quite simply decorated. They've used ball garlands throughout. They've used simple balls in the red and white and green, and then they've got a few decorated baubles in there as well. There's a couple of finials in there, but not a lot, so they've kept it quite simple and just a bit more of a spray sort of at the top we can just see in that image there. The feature pieces, I think anything in the red and white is a great, when I spoke in part 1 about having some of your main decor pieces in more neutral tones. So if you love red and white, if you went for those candles, for example, in the stripe and the candy cane finish, you could have those and then you could add the bright green, you could add dark green, you could stick it to just red and white, you could add pink to it. So you can change the look up if you go with the core colours of Christmas, red and white or gold or silver or white or natural woods as your main focal decor pieces, and then you can add colour to them by bringing in some decorations and some ornaments. So that means every year you're not replacing all the expensive pieces you buy. It's a way that you can actually create beautiful new looks without, as I say, replacing the expensive elements of your decorating. So, for example, in this, if last year you had red and white, this year you're adding green, so you could simply add green baubles. You could add some wrapped green presents or the green beautiful present pack that they've got there, stack that they've got there, and you could add the garland to the tree, and so then suddenly you've changed it from red and white to red, white, and green. So I hope that makes sense. So you can easily change around what you're doing by adding one element and keeping your main pieces, your core Christmas colours, as the things that you invest more in. All right, so here you've got a gorgeous pot. First of all, I want to bring to your attention at the top on the image there sitting on the table. That pot is very easy to create. It could even be that they've already got sprays with the poinsettias and the greenery in it, or you simply add greenery to a pot the pot will have a florist foam in it, add greenery to it, and then add some poinsettias, and then they've got that gorgeous Merry Christmas pick coming out the top and a couple of whimsical picks with the swirly red and white elements on there. When you do create a pot like this, have a look at the fact that the foliage flows down over the edge of the pot and all the way out. So the only thing you've got to remember when you're making it yourself, and the biggest mistake people make when they try the first time, is they'll make it upright and they don't have things draping down the pot, and they don't take it out wide enough to the sides as well. So I hope those tips help, so that if you want to give that a go, honestly, you'll find you would be amazed at what a great job you do in creating that yourself. They've got so many beautiful lanterns this year, Raz, with the different colours too. I'm really loving all the lanterns. So they've got beautiful red here, white in our other image. In our other part one, we had some gorgeous bright colours as well. So I think they're always fantastic. I'm personally a huge fan of large finials. I adore them. I think they have so much impact, can be used in the house, protected outside, so they won't be weatherproof. They will fade if they're in sun, so you've got to be very careful. But you could put them at the front door if you've got friends coming over, put them outside when guests come over or something like that. I think that they are just a stunning investment piece, the beautiful finials. That one at the back, I'm guessing, is probably around 1.5 to 1.8, which is 5 to 6 feet in height. So quite a tall finial there. And then you can see on the right-hand side the use of the white again. So our white lanterns, as I mentioned, our reindeer are white. Then we've got our green in our trees and our candle holders there. And then the ribbon and the balls just fed through a very simple garland on that fireplace there. So you'll see a lot of the garlands. Sometimes garlands will sit across a fireplace, or they can drape down if you want to dress the fireplace itself. In which case, most times you're going to have to put some sort of a hook into your fireplace. So be aware, if you do it that way, you need to think about how you're going to actually attach it to your fireplace. All right, this is a really short little theme. They've got paws and claws. So they've just created, they often will have ornaments that have a cat or a dog theme. This one is the dog theme, and you've got some ornaments in the tree you can see there. So the ornaments of the dog faces, as well as paw print and bone ornaments, and then they've matched them with some simple tabletop Christmas dog pieces that they've got in the second image. For anyone who loves dogs, this is a sweet little theme that you could do, and you could even create a little, for the kid, if the kids love their animals, you could create a little tree that has just simple red and green baubles in it, and just a couple of those paw prints, or the bones would be a great way to add a lovely little tree theme for the children. Okay, back to their main themes here. We've got now Season's Frost. So we've got cream and olive green and sort of natural snow white, I would say. So cream, snow white and olive green. Whitewash decor and natural elements in this one, and light green flowers and ornament accents. So you can see in this image here, you've got those green tones, soft. Olive green is it's in between. It's a lighter tone of olive green, but it's definitely in those muted tones, almost going into that yellow limey kind of color, to be honest. So in the tree here, you can see that you've got the baubles in those deeper olivey tones, and you've got ribbon in that same sort of muted olive tone. Lots of flowers in this and pine cones, so very natural elements in here. The pine cones are frosted and flocked sort of style in there, but the natural wood colour as the base. Some tartan in the browns in here. And then the cream pops with those beautiful flowers, the large poinsettias that are in this tree. So very much a muted woodlands with that little bit of brightness brought through with the pop of the flower. And again, if you've got a tree that you decorated last year and like, oh, it was a bit dark or didn't give me a pop, it might be that you just need to add a repeat of a flower or an ornament that is stronger in colour, or if you want to darken it, darker in colour to create life for your tree. But when you do something like that, you need to repeat them multiple times. So on a tree this size, if you wanted to add, let's say you decided you wanted the bright green to be more prominent, you'd probably want to add at least another, in this half of a tree, another 7 to 9 ornaments in that colour throughout the tree to give continuity and a sort of a following a story throughout. And every time you look at an element of the tree, you see that little pop of that particular colour that you're trying to bring through your tree. I love the use on the right hand image of the gorgeous flowers in the pots. I think these are also a really lovely thing to have in your stash to use at Christmas time, as well as to use at Easter, or if you're decorating when people come over, if you love to dress the table for entertaining. I think some pieces like that are trans-seasonal and a great investment. Again, another lantern, this time in that whitewash finish. So again, they're using those lanterns regularly throughout their stories here, and the gorgeous large deer that we've got in this one. And then we've just got the addition of these gorgeous snowmen here. So the soft green outfits on them, a nice way of adding a snowy theme to this look if you want to, and adding a little bit of whimsy to it. And then use of bottle brush trees in this one, and natural resin trees rather than the glass trees. So it's more of that natural style rather than the glass of some of our other previous themes. All right, now we're going into a new theme called Season Sparkle. Season Sparkle is gold and silver together. More of a champagne gold predominantly, but there is a bit of the yellow gold in there as well. So often champagne gold and silver will go together, and then you'll see a little pops of brighter gold to add a little bit of brightness. So you can even see that in the finials that we've got there. Even just around the bows on those at the top of the finials, the gold that's been tied around the bow is a little bit brighter in colour. You can just see in the top left-hand some of the balls in there, a little bit brighter gold in there as well. So you can add that little bit of brightness and depth by using a bit of yellow gold added to the primarily champagne gold finish. Tinsel, iridescent and mirror finishes in this, and this is really a touch of bling. All right, so this is fun bling style. That ribbon, I think, says it all. That mirror finish ribbon is what this is all about, with the tinsel in the garland behind. So a silver tinsel garland as the background rather than using greenery or flocked finishes. I love this sleigh. This kind of sleigh is great for so many themes as well. Again, a great investment piece that you can use year upon year and change the look of. Sleighs are great for adding floral displays too as well, very easily. And I've got some great videos on how you do that, so check those out. All right, so here you can see where you've got those stronger gold elements in those trees on the mantle. Now the tree in the background there is that stronger vintage gold as well, and it's got iridescent, and it's got champagne gold, and it's got it will have cream in there as well, and then those nutcrackers in the creamy colour and golds. So you can see you can go soft with the silver as the base, or you can go strong with the gold as a base. It really is a statement in a style like this. And then if you really want to party and keep it going, this would be great. If you've got people coming New Year's Eve as well, you could keep this up and just add Happy New Year's to it very, very easily. So you can change that up. So you can see, I'm just going to flick back so you can see the tinsel tree on this one in the gold, and then the tinsel in the silver in the garland there with just a touch of gold added. And then you can see the bling in the mirror finish on the trees as well as that fringe. So as I say, great one for New Year's if you're celebrating through to New Year's as well, this theme. All right, so then we've got the Christmas shop, which is your traditional colours of red and green. So your mid to deep tone green, as well as obviously red, with trim of tartan and velvet. We've got some pops of royal blue we'll see in this one as well, and nutcrackers feature in this. So this is for anyone who loves traditional Christmas. Of course, we're always going to have different takes on traditional Christmas, and this is our first one for this year. Again, as I've seen over and over, this thin ribbon, it's about a 1-inch ribbon, I believe. But you can have some ribbon that would be even, if you wanted to, you could use even narrower. Wired is the important thing here. So this is wide velvet ribbon. On that tree is so pretty, adding those little elements with the greenery and the berries coming out and then hanging some gorgeous decorations on there. And you can see the decorations. There's a little bit of lightness with some white coming through and that softer mid-tone green, but very much a traditional feel with the Santa ornament you can see sort of towards the top there as well. And then the candles, I love the use of candles, the LED candles like they've got there in the red, such a beautiful way, group some of those on a tabletop, and using the tartan in the wrapped present is a great way to bring together a look. I love the way they use their wrapping papers to create looks, Raz Imports, because it's cheap and it's a way to add interest. So rather than just having 3 candles sitting by themselves next to that tree, suddenly you've got a beautiful story by having 2 wrapped presents with a couple of candles sitting there and one in the front. All right, so here's that royal blue I was talking about. So you can see if you want to add pops of colour, you can. So again, when you're looking at you're investing, you're buying your main pieces in the red and green. But then if you want to add ribbon in this case, or some ornaments, and they've got both in here, then you can add those to really change the look to this theme as well. This one is adding a lot more whimsy by having the giant bells at the base of the tree, as well as giant nutcracker hats or soldier hats in the tree. So you've got those very big elements as well as drums in there. So using any of the bigger elements will always add that touch of whimsy to it. In fact, I can see now, I'm looking again, that they've got the bells fitted into the tree. All those bigger pieces get fitted in first. I like to fit them in first, tie them, sort of push them into the tree a little bit, and then you can decorate around that. When I say first, always light your tree if your tree is not pre-lit before you do anything else. So this is a way of adding some brightness and some fun to that traditional theme if you like that as well. Gorgeous nutcracker ornament too in the middle of that tree there, like a flat disc ornament, which I think is a really pretty addition. And then on the right, we've got the more traditional colours of your red and the green and bit of gold on there. So, but in the wreath in the background, they've added the same ribbon that they've got in the tree to the left, just to sort of carry the theme through. I love the presents sitting in that drum in the front too, that sort of pot, that's a drum. And again, we've got gorgeous use of lanterns with the LED candles, so the gold lanterns in this case, bringing that gorgeous look together. I also love in my home when I am decorating to have some decorated trees like they've used here, so just beautifully lit trees as a background with some feature pieces together like we've got there. I think that looks amazing. All right, and then we've got the more green brought into this side of it. So you can see exactly the same. I'm going to just flick back here. So we've got a slightly more modern soldier here with the black being strong on him, or the more traditional soldier here with exactly the same background, the same wreath and tree. So it changes the look of it quite a bit by just choosing a different feature piece depending on what you like. So if you love traditional, go for a more traditional feature piece that you have in your collection, and then you can add some other elements to change it up if you do want to have a slightly different look on that over various years. I also love these trays. I think they're a great option for having your front door as well, and you could have a little Merry Christmas sign or something like that there. I think they're a really lovely decoration. The large bells have been around for a couple of years. I think they're going to stay around for a bit longer. Great for putting around your tree at the base if you don't want to hang them as well. That would be another way I would use them, like we saw in the other tree. But if you didn't want to hang anything in your tree, or you wanted to keep the ornaments on the tree smaller, you can just sit them around the base. I would probably tie them together to keep them in place because they're big, they're bulky, and you don't want them moving all over the place. And just a couple more, because really traditional is always a favourite of their themes here. So a few more. You can see nutcrackers, always big in this theme, and they've got lots of different styles to match anyone's interest, right through from the sort of more red and white of that rocking horse one through to the more traditional colours you can see on here. And then on this one, in the left-hand photo, now that is a thinner ribbon. That's probably a 1/2 inch, so that's about 1.5 centimetres wide ribbon. Wide, again, that ribbon is so beautiful and so great to work with, to feed through a tree, to feed through your wreath and garland. One of my favourites is those thin ribbons when they started to show themselves a few years ago. And again, you can see that they've hung some gorgeous ornaments from a garland. If you wanted to, you could just light the garland and then hang some ornaments off it like they've done there, which is really lovely. The wreath has been made with the green base on that one as well, and then your gorgeous nutcrackers finishing it off. A slightly more flocked finish there, so you can see the difference between the flocking as the base and the green as the base, the middle and the left image there, and some gorgeous bears, Christmas bears, which are so cute in our right-hand image. And again, the pot they've got there, they've just added some foliage too. It looks to me like they've got a giant sign that we can just see the edge of sitting in that pot as well. All right, next theme, retro has been in for a number of years now. Lots of people love that vintage vibe of the 50s and memories of Christmas trees and decorating with family of past. So treasured moments, soft retro vibes, frosted green and red. We're going to see feather trees as well as paper houses. Oh, excuse my spelling mistake there. And bottle brush trees, which are straight out of the 50s. And you can see our little Santa here in the house and snowman, very much those 50s kind of vibe. The bottle brush trees with a little bit of flocking on them. Tree, green base, lots of glass on here. So we've got, again, reflector pieces in this one. We've got some candy cane style in some red and white stripes, and beautiful Santa glass ornaments in here. You'll also see at the base we've got some large decorations in that reflector style that are sitting as part of the decorating around the base of the tree. They are beautiful, and again, if you love traditional colours, those sort of pieces would be great for your traditional tree, for your retro theme tree, something you could use year upon year and change up with whatever you're going, because it's a red and green base. So really, really lovely. That tree itself is more of that open feather tree style, so you can see all the ornaments hanging, all the garlands hanging. If you like to highlight your ornaments, if you love to collect, if you've got an eclectic mix of ornaments and your tree is made up of memories from travel and so forth, a tree like this is a great option because the ornaments become the real feature of the tree. And then on the right, we can see a beautiful Santa's boot filled with poinsettias and picks of holly there, and or mistletoe, I should say. And then we've got the same at the back with the wreath, and just some felt trees at the front with, I love the look of this little collection. This would be, I'd say, an exclusive little collection of Raz. The Santa there, he is gorgeous. Really, really one of my favorites from the collections. So hard as I go through every year, I'm like, oh, I'll do this one, I'll do this one. I change my mind with every theme that I look at. I also love when they use a bauble. In that picture on the right, you can see just a bauble sitting on a little bit of foliage. Could even be a candle ring. Some of the small candle rings are great to then sit an ornament in as part of your tabletop display, because of course it's going to stop the ornament from rolling around. Far more of the vintage here. You've got the feather tree there sitting inside the Santa pot, and the trees are glass to the side of that with, again, that frosted kind of finish. Then you've got the little treasure boxes there with the bottle brush trees and the Santas and snowmen. and our beautiful Bambi style reindeer, which are so, to me, scream 50s style in the foreground. A new range of those this year. You can see also they've used some snowy effect, so using snow bags as the base is a great option as well for your decorating. I often will put them in I've got comports, so wide open containers or trays, fill them with some snow, and then put my decorating inside that. That keeps everything together. It means if the door opens, it doesn't blow everywhere, but it means I can create that snowy effect if I want to in a corner of my decorating, which I find looks really pretty. To our second last theme, we've now got Winterberry. So loads of greenery, red and blueberry picks all over the place. Features are in silver, champagne gold, and deeper wooden tones. And there's a touch of denim blue that goes with our blueberries in this one. So you can see the silver deer in this image. They are always a more muted, so it's not going to be a bright silver. It's not going to be shiny silver. The lantern's the same. Another example of lanterns being used in their images. Champagne gold on the candle holders at the back, and then that beautiful, beautiful greenery with the berries throughout on the mantle and in the wreath itself. So pretty, so lush. I also love the use of the small trees that they've got here in front of the mantle on the right-hand side. So sitting them together with the deer, again, great way to bring a story together. If you buy two beautiful big deer like that, then sit them with a couple of trees so that you create a gorgeous look for them all together. All right, so this tree has got a bit more of the brighter blue through it. It's a lighter look overall, and then they've got touches of deep blue as well as the deeper ribbon through it, and they've added lots of picks in there as well. So you've got I can see mixes of foliage, so a bigger green leaf pick in there, then you've got lots of berry picks in there. So they've really filled that tree with lots and lots of elements, as well as then decorating with some baubles over the top. The reindeer at the front here, obviously that natural, deeper style of reindeer in this theme. And then you've got the tartan rug, which is obviously not a Christmas ornament, but the tartan is definitely in those sort of tones, something you can add into this theme. Great one if you're wrapping presents as well. So they've got, on the left-hand side, you've got the tartan presents under the tree with the softer blue ribbon, and then you could also use the other tartan that's in that rug on the image in the middle, and then just a simple pot of greenery with some berries in it sitting on that table in that middle image, and again simple greenery at the back with some lovely signs that they've just got sitting up there. I love LED candles everywhere, so you can have your candles on without having to worry about anything, which is amazing. And then we've got some Santas, a beautiful tartan ribbon to go with just sitting there behind there. That ribbon would be on a little piece of foliage, so you can bring together a gorgeous story with our Santas. And our final theme for Raz 2025 is Wonder and Joy. Our great kids theme here. Again, we have red, green and white like we had in Make It Merry theme, but this one is a lot of felt in here. So really elves and felt and a little bit of gingerbread in there as well. This would all work in the other red, green and white theme as well, of course, but this makes the felt sort of the hero of the story in this particular range. So you can see in the image there, you've got the felt garland at the front, the felt trees, and the felt wreath at the back. Those elves are super cute, by the way, with their little outfits in the white with the prints on them. I think they're a really nice. They look small, a smaller size, so they often have 3 sizes of elves. In fact, we're not seeing, that just reminds me, we're not seeing as many elves this year, so they've come back a bit from previous years. All right, so this tree being whimsical, you've got bigger elements in it. First of all, it's a flocked tree, so again, we've got brighter look for this one. So you've got those gorgeous sort of discs, merry and bright, holly jolly, all different signs there that are larger size that you can fit into your tree. You've got some larger balls. I can see a few sitting in the sort of background, and then big bunches of ribbon in beautiful big bows in the tree. So this is a very full, this is very sort of wild, whimsical looking tree with a bit of a spray. One thing we've noticed over the last couple of years is the sprays at the top of the tree have become smaller. So you've got just a couple of pieces coming out of the top of that tree with the bow there. So in the past, they were quite elaborate. Some of the sprays, they've definitely come back over the last couple of years. Gorgeous sleigh in the front there, the tin sleigh, which you can add decorations to like they've got there. You could add baubles to, you could fill with foliage if you wanted to, or you could put real presents in. The wreath back is a felt wreath, so again coming back to that wreath, to that felt theme. And the image on the right shows you those holly jolly sign and merry and bright signs that were in the tree, and also you've got those gorgeous gnomes for the picks that you could create a little pot for, and the sign. I love this use of, again, you've got some foliage at the top of the sign, probably 2 picks there put together to create a really nice way of rounding out that sign and adding that extra element to your decorating, to take it from just looking okay to take it to looking wow. And once again, lanterns. So the red and green lanterns here. Love the first one, got a little bit of decoration on the second one, plain, and they've just put some of the gnomes in the back set and some lanterns in and some candles in the front lantern. Again, a plain green tree at the back just to finish it out, to create that roundness. I love the use of these sort of elements at the front door. I think these would be beautiful. Remembering, you've got to be careful. They're not going to be weatherproof, and they will fade with light. So it depends on where you're located and how long you want your pieces to last. And also in this scene, we've got a bit of a snowy theme. So we've got our snowmen. So we haven't seen as many snowmen this year. So just in one other theme, we saw a couple of those. So that's really nice to have them around. And then we've got sort of the glittery ones on the right, and then the ceramic on the left there, and ceramic snowman and ceramic Santa. Another set of lanterns. I love the way they've hung one of those. That's really pretty. And those little sleighs. Again, sleighs are one of my favorite things to have as go-to decorating elements. I love the use of the snowman and Santa hanging ornament at the front of that bigger sleigh too, as a nice way to just finish that off and bring in the theme. That's really, really cute. So that is it for today for our Raz Imports 2025 reveal. I, as I said, am such a huge fan, so appreciative of the work they put into their images to give us ideas. You will be able to search Raz Imports and find them worldwide. All right, I hope that's helped your decorating for 2025. Don't hesitate to contact me or make a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a favourite theme, I'd love to know of your favourite theme of part 1 and part 2. I always struggle to find and decide which is going to be my favourite theme, and we'll often end up putting bits together from each. But I love some of those new elements that they've got. Particularly love the jewel pieces that they've got this year. They are super, super cute. And that new whimsical Santa range that they've got that looks exclusive. All right, thanks again. Check out the rest of the videos. There's loads of how-to videos showing you how to make pieces yourself if you want to decorate your home for Christmas. All right, take care. See you. Bye.